Stop everything you are doing right now. The British monarchy has been hit with a catastrophic earthquake, and the epicenter is an explosive, unscripted betrayal that no one in Buckingham Palace saw coming. For over 3 decades, Andrew Parker Bowles kept his mouth shut. He carried the darkest, most dangerous secrets of Queen Camilla's past into the shadows. Until tonight. Earlier this morning, an unedited, leaked audio recording dropped online, completely shattering 30 years of forced silence. In this jaw-dropping footage, Camilla's ex-husband directly exposes what really went on behind closed doors during the collapse of their marriage, and the shocking secret agreement signed to protect the crown's image. This isn't just old gossip or recycled tabloid rumor. This is an explosive confession filled with betrayal, secret late-night palace interventions, and a desperate cover-up that threatens to pull down the velvet curtains of royalty once and for all. Andrew's chilling words have left senior royals in absolute panic, and emergency meetings are currently underway behind locked doors at the palace. What did Andrew reveal that sent shockwaves through the entire royal household? Who orchestrated the ultimate silencing tactic? And why is this hidden truth exploding into the public eye right now? Stay tuned, grab your popcorn, and do not look away for a single second, because what we are about to reveal will change the way you see the royal family forever. To truly understand the absolute magnitude of this historic betrayal, we have to rewind the clock to a time when secrets were buried deep within stone castle walls and the media was tightly controlled by royal spin doctors. For decades, the official narrative surrounding King Charles, Queen Camilla, and Andrew Parker Bowles was meticulously crafted. We were told a simple, cleaned-up story. 2 marriages that fell apart, a tragic royal divorce, and an eventual fairy tale ending for Charles and Camilla. But behind that polished fairy tale lay a web of psychological warfare, silenced witnesses, and calculated sacrifices. Andrew Parker Bowles was never just a bystander in this high-stakes royal drama. As a high-ranking military officer and a trusted figure within elite royal circles, Andrew was deeply embedded in the inner sanctuary of the crown. He wasn't just Camilla's husband. He was a man who held the keys to the most guarded vaults of personal royal secrets. When his marriage to Camilla began to fracture in the late 1980s and early 1990s, the entire world believed it was merely the unfortunate byproduct of an infamous royal love triangle. But insider sources now claim that the official history sold to the public was nothing more than a carefully constructed illusion. For years, rumors swirled in elite circles that Andrew was pressured into keeping quiet. The palace needed a clear narrative to rebuild Camilla's public image, transforming her from the most hated woman in Britain into a respectable, future queen consort. To achieve that monumental PR makeover, any contradictory evidence or inconvenient truth had to be thoroughly erased. Andrew walked away quietly in 1995, taking the high road, accepting his silent role, and fading into the background while the world pointed fingers. Narrator. But why now? What could possibly drive a man who stayed silent for over 30 years to suddenly break his peace and fire a direct missile at the royal establishment? According to high-level palace insiders, the tension has been quietly simmering behind the scenes for months. Secret memoirs, hidden diaries, and encrypted correspondence dating back to 1992 have allegedly resurfaced. Whispers from royal historians indicate that Andrew had kept a meticulous private journal detailing every single private phone call, every late-night royal visit, and every high-level demand made by palace advisors during the peak of the 1990s royal crisis. He kept everything, reveals a former royal household aide who spoke under strict anonymity. Andrew was a military man. He knew the value of intelligence. He knew that one day, he might need insurance to protect his own legacy and dignity from being rewritten by royal spin doctors. The background to this sudden explosion is deeply linked to recent power shifts within the royal hierarchy. With recent shifts in royal responsibilities and intense public scrutiny on the monarchy's future, those who were once paid or pressured to stay silent are realizing that the old rules no longer apply. The iron grip of royal PR is slipping. Andrew Parker Bowles' sudden breaking of silence isn't just an act of spontaneous emotion. It is a calculated, devastating strike that lays bare the ruthless lengths the establishment went to in order to clear Camilla's path to the throne. As former staff members begin to talk, and leaked memos begin to circulate on encrypted forums, the official royal timeline is crumbling before our very eyes. The public was led to believe that Andrew was simply an indifferent husband who stepped aside willingly. But the newly emerged evidence paints a far more sinister picture, one filled with immense psychological pressure, strategic isolation, and forced non-disclosure agreements signed under intense duress. Every single piece of this puzzle points to one unsettling conclusion. The public was lied to for decades. The story of Camilla's first divorce wasn't just a personal failure between two spouses. It was a high-level operational cover-up designed to protect the ultimate prize, the crown itself. And now that Andrew's explosive silence has finally been shattered, the foundation of that cover-up is cracking under immense pressure. The tipping point occurred late yesterday evening in an exclusive, highly secure private venue in London. What was supposed to be an intimate gathering of close associates quickly transformed into the battleground for the royal scandal of the century. Witnesses report that an emotional and visually shaken Andrew Parker Bowles engaged in a heated, unfiltered conversation regarding his past with Camilla, unaware that a hidden recording device was capturing every single word. The tone of the leaked audio is chilling. Gone is the polite, stoic military officer the world thought they knew. In his place is a man overflowing with decades of suppressed anger, emotional betrayal, and raw resentment. They made it look like I was the oblivious fool. They rewrote history to make her look like a helpless victim caught in a storm. But they forced me into a corner. I was given a choice. Sign the non-disclosure agreements, hand over the private correspondence and walk away, or face complete professional and social destruction. I didn't just step down. I was erased. The raw emotion in his voice is undeniable. Andrew alleged that during the frantic weeks leading up to their official divorce announcement in 1995, senior palace strategists held secret midnight meetings at an undisclosed estate. During these high-stakes sessions, Andrew was presented with binding legal documents designed to permanently seal his lips. He was allegedly promised that his military standing and social status would remain untouched only if he agreed to take the fall for the public disintegration of his marriage. Narrator. Within minutes of the audio clip being uploaded to an anonymous leak site, social media exploded into an absolute frenzy. Screenshots of the transcript flooded Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit, racking up millions of views in a matter of hours. The hashtag Andrew Speaks Out began trending globally at #1, eclipsing all major international news stories. But just when the public thought they had grasped the severity of this leak, the story took a shocking first twist that turned this entire narrative completely upside down. Insiders close to the security team managing the venue leaked a secondary document, a high-level, marked secret memorandum originating from a prestigious London law firm. This document reveals that Andrew Parker Bowles did not just speak out spontaneously. He had secretly filed a massive legal claim to void his 30-year-old non-disclosure agreement weeks before this audio ever leaked. The legal filing claims that the original 1995 non-disclosure agreement was signed under severe psychological duress and unconstitutional threats involving his military career and family privacy. This means Andrew wasn't just venting in a private room. He was actively preparing a legal nuclear bomb aimed directly at the heart of the royal legal apparatus. The implications of this twist are terrifying for the palace. If a court agrees to void Andrew's NDA on the grounds of duress, every piece of private correspondence, every secret agreement, and every hidden detail regarding Queen Camilla's transition into the royal family will become part of the public court record. The pristine narrative meticulously built over 30 years is now on the verge of being dragged into an open courtroom for the entire world to analyze line by line. As the news of Andrew's legal challenge broke across major international outlets, the crisis escalated from a PR nightmare into a full-blown constitutional panic. Emergency sirens might as well have been ringing through the corridors of Buckingham Palace. High-level aides were seen arriving at private residences late into the night, carrying thick, locked briefcases. The atmosphere inside the royal inner circle was described by one source as pure panic and total lockdown. Mainstream news networks quickly picked up the story, featuring legal experts and royal commentators who debated the terrifying fallout of a voided royal NDA. If Andrew Parker Bowles succeeds in invalidating this agreement, stated top constitutional analyst Sarah Jenkins during a live broadcast, it sets a dangerous precedent. It opens the floodgates for dozens of former aides, security officers, and insiders who were forced into silence over the decades. The monarchy's vault of secrets could be forced wide open. The online digital landscape deteriorated into absolute chaos. Celebrity commentators, internet sleuths, and public figures jumped into the fray, driving engagement metrics through the roof. Then came the second explosive reveal, a revelation so unbelievable that it sent shockwaves directly into the heart of the international diplomatic community. An anonymous whistleblower operating under the handle @Crown Whistle published a series of heavily redacted digital receipts on an encrypted platform. These files reportedly contain logs of secret financial settlements and private letters exchanged between senior royal representatives and high-ranking media executives back in the late 1990s. The revealed documents suggest that in exchange for Andrew Parker Bowles' absolute silence, High-level royal fixers didn't just use threats. They established a complex network of media protection agreements. Certain tabloid editors were allegedly granted exclusive access and favorable coverage on other royal stories in direct exchange for suppressing any investigative reporting into Andrew's side of the divorce. In short, it was a coordinated, media-wide blackout engineered at the highest levels of power. The psychological impact of this second reveal on the public was immediate and severe. People were no longer just discussing a bitter divorce. They were questioning the integrity of the entire media ecosystem and the institutions that govern royal reporting. How much of what we know about royal history is real, and how much was traded behind closed doors to protect the elite? Just as the media was digesting this massive revelation, another chilling detail emerged from the legal filings. Andrew's legal team allegedly possesses a set of private, handwritten journals kept by Andrew during his final months of marriage to Camilla. Journals that contain direct quotes and log dates of private interventions by senior royals. What is written in those journals? What explosive statements were made behind closed doors that Andrew meticulously documented for 30 years? The suspense reached a fever pitch as royal representatives steadfastly refused to comment, issuing only a cold, standard statement. We do not comment on private legal matters or unverified speculation. But their silence only fueled the wildfire sweeping across the globe. The global reaction to this escalating saga has been nothing short of explosive, dividing the public into fiercely opposing camps and sending massive shockwaves throughout the entire global media industry. The internet has literally transformed into a digital battlefield, with tens of millions of users passionately arguing over who is the true victim in this decades-long royal drama. Every major social media platform, from TikTok and Twitter to YouTube and Reddit, is currently flooded with breakdown videos, leak analysis, and emotional reaction clips. The sheer speed at which this story is spreading has overwhelmed traditional news outlets, forcing major television networks to abandon their scheduled programming to cover this unprecedented crisis live. On one side of this fierce public debate stand the passionate defenders of the monarchy and Queen Camilla. They argue that this sudden leak of private audio and confidential legal filings is a cheap, opportunistic attack specifically designed to humiliate the Queen and undermine the stability of the institution during a deeply sensitive period. On the opposing side, a massive, unstoppable wave of anti-establishment critics, human rights advocates, and everyday viewers are rallying behind Andrew Parker Bowles, viewing him as a brave whistleblower who was crushed and silenced by the overwhelming, cold-hearted machinery of the crown. The media industry itself is in total, unprecedented disarray. Prominent news anchors, veteran royal correspondents, and seasoned investigative journalists are openly turning on each other during live broadcasts. On a top-rated international morning show, two senior commentators engaged in a furious shouting match that nearly resulted in physical confrontation before producers abruptly cut to a commercial break. This isn't journalism or public interest anymore. This is the systematic destruction of human privacy, screamed one veteran royal biographer, slamming his notes onto the table. Privacy? Countered an investigative journalist sitting opposite him. When state-funded institutions use immense power, psychological pressure, and legal intimidation to hide the truth from the public, exposing those secrets is the very definition of journalism. Even Hollywood A-listers, international media moguls, and top-tier podcasters are diving headfirst into the controversy. Popular commentary channels are hosting live 24-hour streams dissecting every single syllable of the leaked audio, while legal experts analyze the potential fallout of a voided non-disclosure agreement. The psychological impact on the public is profound. Search engines have reported historic, record-breaking traffic for search terms like Andrew Parker Bowles' 1995 divorce agreement, Queen Camilla's secret legal team, and leaked royal audio tapes full transcript. Every single hour, new conspiracy theories and insider claims emerge online. Was Andrew manipulated by rival factions within the aristocracy? Did a disgruntled former staff member leak the audio to sabotage the crown's standing? Or is Andrew simply an aging man who refuses to let a sanitized, palace-approved lie be his permanent legacy in the history books? The industry backlash is growing more intense by the second, and mainstream publications that once maintained a strictly respectful, hands-off approach toward the royal family are now being forced by overwhelming public demand to launch full-scale investigative teams to uncover the full truth. Just when the world thought this explosive controversy had reached its absolute boiling point, a final, cataclysmic twist dropped less than 1 hour ago. A revelation so unbelievable, so dangerous, and so completely toxic that it turns this entire legal battle into a full-scale royal nuclear war. A high-ranking whistleblower working inside the ultra-secure legal firm representing Andrew Parker Bowles leaked an encrypted digital file index that was officially submitted to the court's confidential evidence vault late this afternoon. The contents of that file? It isn't just written memories, handwritten journals, or personal letters. It contains 4 full hours of unreleased, high-definition audio recordings captured directly during intense, high-stakes palace negotiation meetings held in late December 1994. According to the leaked file index, these recordings do not just feature Andrew Parker Bowles expressing his frustration to friends. They feature the actual, unedited, crystal-clear voices of senior royal negotiators, top-tier legal fixers, and high-ranking palace officials laying out the exact, ruthless terms of the cover-up in their own words. Leaked summary of confidential file index. File 01. Duration. 1 hour 12 minutes, December 1994. Palace legal strategy on controlling tabloid outlets and managing public perception. File 02. Duration. 58 minutes, December 1994. Detailed terms of forced separation and consequences of non-compliance. File 03. Duration. 1 hour 45 minutes, January 1995. Direct execution of image restoration plan for Camilla and strategic isolation of counter-narratives. Let the gravity of that sink in. Andrew Parker Bowles didn't just passively listen during those secret meetings 30 years ago. He was secretly wearing a high-grade military recording device, documenting every single demand, threat, and promise made by the most powerful people in the country. If these audio files are verified and played in open court, the entire world will hear the actual voices of royal advisors engineering a massive, historic public manipulation campaign. The psychological impact of this final reveal has thrown Buckingham Palace into an absolute state of red alert emergency crisis management. Inside sources report that royal legal teams are working frantically through the night to draft an emergency court injunction to immediately bar every media outlet on Earth from broadcasting, publishing, or quoting a single word from these tapes. They are in pure panic mode, revealed high-level source connected to the court proceedings. If those tapes are played publicly, it won't just ruin reputations. It could permanently break the public's trust in the institution forever. But as we all know in this modern, fast-moving digital age, once information leaks into the online atmosphere, no amount of high-priced legal paperwork or emergency court orders can stop it from spreading to millions of screens in a matter of seconds. The suspense hanging over the monarchy is now thicker and more dangerous than at any point in modern history. Will the courts grant an emergency gag order to seal these tapes in a vault forever? Or will Andrew Parker Bowles bypass the courts entirely and release the full, unedited audio directly to the world online? What other top-tier royal figures are named in those confidential December 1994 recordings? What secret deals were made behind closed doors that could redefine everything we thought we knew about royal history? The drama is far from over. In fact, the real war has only just begun. This is, without a doubt, the most shocking, dramatic, and historic royal scandal we have ever covered on this channel. The entire history surrounding Queen Camilla's rise to power is being broken down and rewritten in real time right before our eyes. And we are tracking every single update as it happens. Now, I want to hand the microphone over to you, our incredible community of viewers. What do you think about these unprecedented leaks? Do you believe Andrew Parker Bowles was victimized and silenced by palace fixers? Or do you think 30-year-old personal history should remain private no matter what? Is the monarchy justified in trying to block these tapes from being released? Or does the public have a fundamental right to hear every single second of those recordings? Drop your honest thoughts, detailed theories, and predictions in the comments below right now. I read every single comment, and I want to see a massive debate down there. If your mind was blown by these revelations, make sure to hit that like button right now to help push this video through the algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification button so you never miss a single update. We are currently monitoring the courthouse where the emergency injunction hearing is set to take place in just a few short hours. Our team is working behind the scenes to secure the leaked transcript from File 01, and as soon as we verify it, we will be dropping an emergency breakdown video. You do not want to miss what is coming next. Thank you so much for watching, stay tuned, and I will see you in the very next explosive update.